Okay, stand by, everyone. This is Narcogen from Rampancy.net.
As Blackstar Productions. How come we
And
can't
we're
sit standing by?
I don't know. We're standing by. We're watching the Fallout 4 official trailer. This is another game series that I've played and like a lot, and Blackstar has not.
I
He
have
has
not.
played
I
it.
am totally new to it. However, the dystopian future cutesy music stuff I have seen many places. I've never played Blast Radius though.
I don't know that exists. I don't know that that's a thing.
Folks,
Hey, chocolate frosted sugar bombs.
we've got some breaking
They kind of blend until you
Yes,
scoop
there's a
sugar on
Mr.
them.
Handy household robot. There are military versions of that, by the way.
Wow, that must really burn up the rugs.
So we got a lot of elements here that are familiar, like those robots and the dog, to people who have played Fallout. Fallout started as an isometric view Western RPG with turn-based combat. And then when Bethesda picked up the series with Fallout 3, they made it a kind of first third-person hybrid thing with more real-time combat
And apparently
With-
Hellboy.
Our soldiers will rage.
with turn-based elements.
War. War never changes.
And maybe we
And
should
the
stop doing it.
idea is that this is an alternative future where post-World War II visions of the future came true, but then was destroyed by nuclear war. And it's set in various parts of North America. The first ones were set in California. Fallout 3 was set in Washington, D.C., and this is Boston with a lot of recognizable locations.
Oh, awesome. Well, we don't have the Zakin.
And see, Old North Church and the Paul Revere statue. I think this town at the end of one part of the trailer is actually inside Fenway Park.
Wow. I take it we don't have the John Hancock.
And the USS Constitution there with jet engines on it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. No Prudential Center though, huh?
I think you can see the crew in one of the shots.
Hmm.
And there's a power armor suit and a gas station.
There's always a power armor suit.
Let's go, pal.
And the main character always emerges from one of these vaults where people survived the war. And usually these announcements are made like a year in advance of release or less. I think Fallout 3 was announced a little bit less than a year from when it came out. People have been assuming this has been in development for a long time since the last Fallout game came out, I think in 2010.
In anxious anticipation.
Right. So let's see. Now we'll switch over. We'll take a look at the Attract video for Fallout 3 because I wanted to load Fallout 3 back up again. It turns out actually I had lost all of my saves.
You're kidding. All of
No,
there's no backup, no thumbstick,
Yeah,
no.
no, nothing. Apparently they're all missing.
What about on the Xbox you have here?
Oh, I don't know.
I can check.
I was able to reload the game from the discs and to recover all my DLC, but I could not find any save files anywhere
Well,
for this
tell you
for
what,
Fallout 3.
I will dig through the old ones and the old 360s that we have back here, and it's possible there may be something there.
Okay,
But I'll take a look.
it's not important. I mean, it's
Well, that was kind of a bummer.
it's not like Mass Effect where you then import a character into another game. So I don't think it's going to affect my Fallout 4 play experience at all to not have that.
I would hope not.
So very very similar to the other trailers, it basically just sets up the idea of the apocalypse and gives you an idea of a little bit what the world looked like before that, which I think is new. The Fallout 3 didn't show that. Yep. Okay, now the attract is starting on my side.
I don't want to set the world on
So the
fire.
use of the old vacuum tube technology and the old music. Yeah.
I just want to start.
Yeah. And this is a Radiation King radio, unlike the new trailer, which has a Radiation King television.
In my heart, I have but one desire, and that one is you. No mother will do.
Oh, there's a Coke bottle.
That's Nuka-Cola.
Mm.
I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim.
You know, see, there's the war
I
propaganda,
just
which you
want
see a
to
lot of
be the
in the
one
games.
you love.
Don't you see it everywhere?
And with your
Brighter Future Underground.
ambition,
So that's an ad for the company that made the vaults
I'll have
and
reached
ran
the
social
goal
experiments on the residents. And so yeah, so here you see the Washington Monument. The because Fallout 3 was set in DC,
DC, yeah.
in Washington DC. Looks like the Hellfire suit in particular. That bit of power armor there.
Sure, it's not Darth Vader.
Pretty sure.
My name is Darth Vader. I'm an
War.
extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan.
War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock,
I like how they put the
bone,
period there. Fallout.
blood has been spilled in the name of everything, from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world. But war never changes.
Cutscene actually goes on so long that the screen dims if you don't move the stick.
In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters, and no one ever leaves.
So that you can kind of see the premise of all the games are like that. With you start off either in a vault or just emerging from a vault. Oh, cloud storage is not available? What?
Oh no.
I specifically went through the early portion of the game and made a new save. And I put it on the cloud specifically for the point of saving so that, well, at least I won't lose it if something happens. And
When
now it's
will they
saying
learn?
cloud services not
Well,
available.
of course not, because that would make sense. The cloud only works when you can connect to it. No.
But we're talking, which means my internet is working.
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
I'm logged in. I can see my friends list.
Did you miss an update?
No. Yeah, for a 5-year-old game? I don't think so.
No, I mean for the system.
No. Try loading the game again.
That might work. There really won't be a nuclear war, right?
Maybe I can go into storage and I can copy the save to the local drive. Copy.
I'm also assuming because they have not made an updated version of this for the Xbox One, there probably won't be. So it's tied specifically for this system, and all the saves and accessibility this would be required for it. So.
Yes, as far as these games usually are isolated from one another, and it's not like the Mass Effect, which was a single trilogy following the story of a single character with their compatriots, and you could actually import your character from title to title,
yeah.
So that your appearance and your statistics, not so much your equipment, but a lot of the choices you made that affect the world in some major way were also carried over. There are, I think, maybe a dozen or so of them across the 3 different games, major decisions that are supposed to affect the way the world exists in that. These were more isolated. For example, even the last 2 major games, which was Fallout 3 and then Fallout 3 New Vegas, which was kind of like a glorified expansion, was set in a different area with a different vault on a different map with a different character and a different plot. Fallout 3 has a kind of a big, epic, world-influencing plot. Basically, you're a child who grows up in Vault 101, and your parents were scientists who, before you were born, were working on a water purifier that was supposed to rid the wasteland of the negative effects of radiation. And you have to try and help make this thing a reality, and also make some major decisions on how that technology will be used, and fight off other people who are struggling to take the power of this technology for themselves. The New Vegas story is a little bit different and a little bit smaller scale. It's basically a power struggle between a lot of different factions.
Well, LA is very, myopic.
I mean, it's still a big epic story, but it's not as like your mission in that is not to save the world. It's really more of like deciding which of the factions are going to win out in this massive struggle that goes on that ends with an epic battle.
Does it really matter though? Really?
At the Hoover Dam.
I love how it says play Fallout and more dystopian games. So I guess that's now a genre.
Where does it say that?
On your screen there for the 360, where it just play Fallout 3 and more dystopian games. It's like, wow, dystopian's now a genre.
That would make sense if Dystopian was the developer.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Somebody's going to make it. You just know they're going to pick that name. And then everyone's going to owe them money. What are some of the other titles that Bethesda's done? Because the name is terribly familiar to
Wayne Gretzky Hockey.
Okay, that was one.
Back in the day, back on the Amiga.
Oh yeah, you love that
late
game.
1980s.
Oh yeah, you love that hockey game, if I recall. Anything else I may have run into?
Well, the other major thing they do is the Elder Scrolls series.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
RPGs.
Gotcha.
But they're not. But the same studio that makes these games is not the one that is doing the Elder Scrolls Online. And that's actually a different studio with the same publisher. That's a studio that is used to making MMOs, not making RPGs. Right. So the other Bethesda unit basically is the one that does the Elder Scrolls, starting with Daggerfall and Morrowind. I forget what the first one was called. So
I'm sure the
ones that I started playing were actually on the original. Was Morrowind on the original Xbox, which was the third Elder Scroll game.
Oh, okay.
And then Oblivion.
That's what I'm remembering.
Oblivion on the 360, and then Skyrim, which was the last one.
Okay, those are the ones I'm recalling then. Where
and then they've started announcing the Elder Scrolls Online, but people have been waiting for a new Fallout game since it's older than the latest Elder Scroll games.
Yeah, when did Fallout 3 come out? What year?
2010.
Wow, so it has been a while.
Yeah.
So the evolution of the technology on the new Xbox One system.
Finally here I can continue.
Finally.
Don't kill your family. Reserve space in Vault 101 today. Gasp, my American dream ruined.
Well, I wonder if they have cloud service in 101. Probably.
Okay,
not.
so yeah, you're a child that was born in Vault 101. Your dad is Liam Neeson. No, really.
I believe it.
And
so my dad's not Hellboy.
Basically, one day something happens, and he runs out of the vault, and the vault is in chaos, and everybody's blaming you, and you have to get to the overseer's room to get out through a secret door, and that's what this is. So I've hacked his computer, and I've gotten to this door, and now I have to try and leave the vault.
Well, leave already.
Well, it's not as easy as that.
It never is.
Oop.
We see the status of that display. For
What
some
do I
reason.
have? What do I have for a weapon? Oh yeah, okay. I had a baseball bat.
Oh well, you're perfectly safe then.
Okay, and this is the turn-based combat element.
I was never a big fan of those personally.
Well, this has both as a hybrid. I mean, it kind of just like Mass Effect can also be played as a third-person shooter. This can be played as a first or third-person shooter. There's a button that puts me. Oh yeah, there's a button that puts me into third-person mode, and so I can use that to help judge my position if I want. But as a first-person action game, it's a little bit clumsy compared to the games that people are used to playing, like Call of Duty or Halo or Destiny or something like that. But the turn-based combat lets you get an advantage because it lets you pause and think about what you're going to do. It also
How
on
do I wanna
bigger
beat this
targets.
Radroach?
Yeah, well, the Radroach is a small target, so it doesn't really have much. But
I don't
on
know. He looks
human-sized
pretty big to
targets
me.
or bigger, you can choose which part of the body you want to target.
That's kind of creepy.
And different targets have different vulnerability, and you can get certain effects. Like in the older games, you could target the eyes, and it would blind the target. All right, so I'm gonna
Even
see if I can.
creepier.
Oh, uh-oh.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. So my childhood friend has noticed that I've actually opened the door to the vault and are.
I didn't think I would make it.
They're trying
my
to
father,
dissuade you from that
my
particular
Officer
procedure.
Mac, I didn't tell them anything, I swear. When the warning sirens came on, they all ran out. I guess that was you? I see you got the door open, that's good.
I couldn't risk helping you. They would have killed me. My only concern was getting this open. I did. Must not have been too bad. You're still alive.
You're right, I understand. It was crazy for me to think you could stop them. What's
I
important
basically
is that
avoided
you made it.
killing
You got the door open.
any of the guards, I think, except one on the way out.
Don't worry about me. Whatever happens, I'm sure I'll be in less danger than you. I can't imagine what you're gonna find out there. Go on, before anyone comes. Find your dad. I'll miss you. You've been a good friend.
Uh-oh. Oh! Ow. Okay, they're shooting me. So I'm gonna run.
Run for your life.
Yeah, so they won't follow you, basically.
Now. I'm not crazy. Gotcha now.
Okay, before you leave Vault 101 forever, you may revise your character. They give you a chance. Basically, the tutorial sets up a lot of things about your character, but at the very last moment, they give you a chance to, okay, if you want to change anything, you can just edit it directly. But if not, you just leave the vault, and then all of that stuff is stuck. And then you got to upgrade your character the normal way.
Oh, WD-40, guys. It costs a nickel. How do you want to face the post-apocalyptic society?
Enclave radio signal found. I'm going to switch over to the pass-through here so I can get a better view. I haven't played this game in a long time either. Okay, quest completed. Escape. Oh, I leveled up.
I would hope so. Welcome
let's see,
to
what
hell.
should I? What should I? I get a bunch of points to assign.
Well, I think the first thing we need to find is shelter and water. Oh wait, that was
there's
behind
actually
us.
there's a hardcore difficulty that actually, and I don't know if it's available on the console. I know that there are mods you can get for the PC version that do it, that like make hunger, thirst, and rest like critically important, like they would be like in a real
They are
pen and
critically
paper
important.
RPG.
I mean, jeez.
Let's see.
Why do you think we only do these on the weekends?
Sneak. I always go heavy on sneak
You
and
think?
lockpick.
Well, aren't you a thief?
For some reason, when I did the questionnaire, I got a very high ranking on big guns. Which is
Really?
like for
That's
rocket
so not your
launchers and
personality.
heavy machine gun type stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know why I got that really.
Because you're a heavy. You're a dull thicky
Small guns.
that just
Okay.
loves blowing up stuff, and you know it.
Okay, and then every even level, I think you get to pick what's called a perk. Black Widow perk is for female characters. In combat, it gives you a 10% damage against male opponents.
Wait. Black Widow perk. So wait a minute. So you got to sleep with them and then kill them? Is that it?
No, it gives you unique dialogue options outside of combat, and in combat, it gives you a damage bonus against men.
I love the icon where you get multiple arms. I was thinking, wait a minute, that's really creepy.
Well, it's a spider thing, but notice it's 6, not. Well, actually, no, it's 8. It's 3 arms and 2 legs, so it's 8. It's actually accurate. Yeah. Okay, so Daddy's Girl.
Yeah, what's that?
You're devoted to intellectual
just...
pursuits. You gain 5 points to science and medicine because your dad's a scientist. Gunnut is obsessed with using and maintaining a wide variety of conventional firearms. Intense training. You can put a single point into any of your attributes.
Little leader.
Little League.
Leaguer.
You gain 5 points of melee weapons and explosive skill. Swift Learner.
So you want to be a thief. I know you want to be a thief.
Well, lockpick and sneak are both useful even if you're not going to be pickpocketing people. It's generally very useful to be able to move around unseen when you don't want to.
Now, the unhighlighted ones, Child at Heart, Comprehension, Education,
they're not unlocked yet. They're usually require. Oh yeah, Entomologist, that gives you a damage bonus against insect enemies.
That is so funny. You know, it's because as a kid, when people used to ask me when I was like 6 or 8, I said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" It would be an entomologist.
I'm gonna take the thief one.
Well, of course you're gonna. Like there was any choice.
Okay, done. All right, so I'll put the bat away, Wendy.
Iron Fist or Scoundrel. Now, will those become optional later, or is it just because those are the male ones?
Yes, as you level up, as you get higher in level, more of those perks will open up, and I don't think you can choose them all. I think eventually there'll be some you'll have to choose. You'll take some of them, and some of them you won't have. But
okay, new world with a bat.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, and it's actually now just alerting me to the existence of all the DLC that I own, because usually that is accessible from a separate. Don't want to do that. Menu
leaves.
Item. And this is what you call your Pip-Boy, or like your little PDA type thing. It gives you your quests.
It's a lot bigger than a PDA.
A world map and a local map that you can zoom in and out on. Yeah. And there's also a radio.
Yeah, this culture didn't have the iPad, let me tell you. Now, how do they have map areas that are out beyond where you're at if nobody's been here for forever? Got to think a lot of this is out of date.
Zeta, yeah. Broken Steel, okay. Yeah, it's just cataloging all of my expanded content right now.
Wow.
That usually it's available by a radio broadcast that like tells you to go to a certain place and sets you on a separate mission.
Hello, my beautiful America.
I assume none of these vehicles are drivable.
No, drivable vehicles is not something that this series has ever had. Even the original top-down isometric game, I think, basically just had it like a loading screen. You push a button to get into a vehicle, and it takes you to a new area and lets you off. But there's never been any vehicular, combat or vehicular gameplay. Oh, there's an Enclave bot over there. I don't think these things are hostile if you don't attack them, if I remember correctly. Empty mailbox. Much more so than Mass Effect, these games are about looting things.
You think?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you think all these different things, it's basically taking things that aren't yours and making them yours.
Yeah, so this is the Enclave. They're a military faction run by self-described President of the new United States, President John Eden,
I will not make the mistakes of my
whose voice you might recognize.
When John Henry Eden builds a country, he builds it to last.
And you can listen to that radio signal, or you can always hear it whenever these bots are
or I happen to be in proximity. Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah.
deserve
Are there any booby traps?
free of
There's also
fear?
Galaxy News Radio, which you can hear from here.
Hmm.
Barely.
Of course.
Like, not all the radio signals are audible from all locations in the world.
Hmm.
In some cases, you'll only have access to like one or maybe two of them. I wonder how tough that bot is to take out.
Well, what would be the benefit?
For now, my America.
It would shut up.
Oh, well, beyond that.
Restoring the greatest
No, that
country
might
in
be
the
enough.
world to its former glory. Well,
Let's see, what have I got for weapons?
even for the ugly. Till we meet again, this is John Henry Eden signing.
Okay, I do have a 10mm pistol.
How many rounds?
Uh, 144 rounds.
Wow, that's
Is
a
that,
lot.
wait, no, that's action points. That's not rounds. Okay, armor, combat inhibitor. Yeah, see, if I shoot the combat inhibitor, a successful hit here will basically make the thing berserk.
Do we want that?
The zapper is its weapon, so that would make it vulnerable. So I can give, say, a couple hits there, and then a couple more to the main body in case I miss. So I can queue up several actions and then hit OK to execute the attack. Boom, gone. Now, when I run out of action points, I have to shoot the old-fashioned way,
Right,
by,
just
you know,
by-
aiming down the thing.
Yep.
But
Right,
okay,
you
so this
actually
is
hit it.
this is telling me Megaton is this way. That's a major settlement. So I think I'll just walk up the road to Megaton and then we'll call it there. Because this was basically about, I'm very excited to see what they do with Fallout 4. I like the idea of it being set in Boston. I got a big kick in the DC one, this one, when you get to the areas that are recognizable,
Yeah.
kind of mapping out. Oh, okay. Because the way you get around the area is by using metro stations.
Oh, please, use
And-
the T. Oh, God.
Yeah, I use
Now,
the
which
DC Metro.
line? The green line, red line, orange line? And dare I say, how
don't-
accurate would they be?
I don't remember. Well, I don't remember. I assume they could use the same system in the new game as well, so which means they would be using the subway.
That's funny.
Oh, there's a. Is that a dead end?
Cool to going around North Station. Not to mention the green line. I believe the cars are actually made in Japan. The irony. So yeah. So now the release date for this thing you said was when?
It's not been announced yet.
It
But as I
hasn't.
said, with Fallout 3, it was less than a year. But
From
also
teaser
Fallout
to
3, I
release?
think, was announced later in the year.
Mhm.
I think in like September or October, where nobody expects that you're going to come out with a game for holidays when you announce it in September.
Right.
But when you announce it in June,
You're kind
I
of
think-
thinking Christmas.
yeah, so I'm kind of thinking this may be closer to a 6-month window than a 12-month window.
Well, that would
But we'll
definitely be nice.
Welcome,
Crow.
welcome.
Okay, so these are
My name is
traders.
Crow, and I
Mhm.
travel the
Where are you?
land offering vestments of protection. And you are fortunate I found you in time.
Okay, so he
You
sells
bear
armor.
the look
Is there
of
a
one
horse
who
sitting
is
on a bug?
haunted. But I am proud to say that
Oh, is
my
it a cow?
wares can
What is that?
protect you from even
It's a-
the
yeah, it's a
cruel
two-headed
claws
cow.
of
Oh,
death
that
itself.
explains it.
Have a look.
What's the bug? And mutant ant?
It's
Have a
a
look.
dead
See if
mutant
anything
ant.
falls
Yeah. I need to buy. Do you have anything? You see, what I really wish I had here was a. I think there is a thing that lets you compare what he's got to what you've already got.
Mm-hmm. Can we just shoot him and take his stuff? You did mention the looting.
Walk well, friend.
Okay. Yeah. See, so Crow's pack brown, two-headed cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
That's interesting.
Keep it on the level.
Okay, that's
and
just a
everything will be
caravan
fine.
guard. Okay, oh yeah, okay, and here's the front door. The bomb is perfectly safe, we promise.
Have yourself a
Oh yes, it's perfectly safe.
have yourself a nice visit, partner.
Oh, okay, he doesn't talk much. I think I'm gonna put the gun away.
More than a passing resemblance to Robbie.
Oh yeah, I mean no question. That's called a Protectron.
I'll be damned. Another newcomer. Name's Lucas Sims, town sheriff, and mayor too when the need arises. I don't know why, but I like you, girl. Something tells me you're all right. So welcome to Megaton. Just holla if you need something. Friendly and well-mannered. I think we're gonna get along just fine. You treat my people nice, and you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. I'm glad
But you have
we
a lot of
understand each
latitude
other.
in the way you act to characters.
This is something I can help you with.
I would say more so than you have in Mass Effect.
Nope. Sorry. I got enough fires to put out in this place that I don't
Like, for
have
instance,
time to keep
you can
tabs on
befriend this
every
guy
visitor.
and trade with
I'd ask
him
around
and do side missions for him for rewards, and you can help him out with problems in the town.
Sure thing,
You
partner.
can, however,
What do you
also,
need
if you
to
wish,
find?
kill him and rob him blind, as well as destroy this entire town.
Wow. You go, girl, and you
Sure
destroy the
thing.
entire town.
What's on your mind?
I don't think I've ever done that. I think I may have saved the game and then done it just because I wanted to see what
would
happened,
happen,
but
yeah.
I couldn't bear the
Mind
thought of
your
it, so I
manners.
did
Well,
not
no,
actually
it's
do that.
kind of mean.
Basically, this town. I'll go down and we'll take a look at the bomb.
Because hey, who doesn't want to see a bomb
And
in
we'll
the middle of dystopian
we'll
future?
end it there because we're not actually doing a series on this
No.
game. I just wanted to show it off because we're talking about Fallout
4
4 coming.
People need a reference from all they couldn't pack into
Oh
Fallout
yeah, so
3.
yeah, so there's an unexploded nuclear bomb in the center of this settlement.
Why are they keeping it?
There's a cult that worships it, kind of like the one in the Planet of the Apes movie.
Seriously?
Yeah, and so eventually you'll be given a quest to either you can ignore it. I mean,
It's a
you
fat
honestly
man.
you don't have to do anything. You could ignore this thing the whole time and just let it be this way. But there will also be an optional mission where you can attempt to defuse it, which the mayor will thank you for. Although these guys will not be happy about that.
Yeah.
Or there's another character who will tell you that you should blow it up, and he will offer to pay you to destroy the entire town.
Wow.
Which is too bad because you can actually get a house here and store your stuff here and customize it. There are several places
Can't
you
you
can
just
customize as your own
disarm it?
house. Yeah, but also you could try to disarm it and fail. This is another game where it helps to save often.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as we find out more about Fallout 4 in terms of when's it coming out, because I might want to do a series on that, but we've got a lot of Mass Effect to play, so I don't know when we'll get to it.
Yeah. Well, tune us
Okay,
in
so-
next time. Thanks for joining us. And we'll definitely be looking forward to Fallout 4 when it comes out.
Yeah, and I think basically they've made a walled city like this out of Fenway Park in the new version. That's what it looks like to me.
That's going to be fun. Hopefully there'll be more parking.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's going to have any actual co-op. None of these games, they've been pretty strictly single-player affairs.
I'd be curious, to be honest, if it's supposed to be set in 2077 and beyond, how many
Beyond.
banners of how many World Series do they think that they've won?
I don't know. Basically, the war happened in 2077, so that's when people went down into the
Right.
vault. And this is supposed to be like at least a generation after that.
Right.
Because the idea is that you in this game you're a child of a person who went into the vault as a young person.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have them for like 2004, 2007. So the question is, what are they going to put after that? Or are they going to think that there's another Bambino curse that stopped us ever since? I'd be curious.
Well, it's an alternate future, so there's no telling. I mean, maybe the Red Sox never won any in that alternate future,
Or
but
maybe they never lost. You never, you never know. So the question is,
Okay, so-
how much of a fan Bethesda is of the Sox?
probably not that big, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out.
All right, so more about Fallout 4 as we find out.
Yay!